Seoul as the ancient capital of Baekje for 500 years. Baekje's fortresses and tombs. Baekje built fortresses in various regions while establishing itself as a nation to guard against attacks by Goguryeo or Shilla. The construction of fortresses on the plains or in the mountains with stones and earth through the mobilization of a large labor force directly affected the fate of Baekje. The fortress evolved from a fence that demarcated the boundary to a mud fort to a stone fortress. Pungnap-Tosong and Mongchong-Tosong are the representative fortresses of Seoul that were built in Baekje. Mongchong-Tosong is somewhat like a mountain fortress as it was built on a low mountain, while Pungnap-Tosong is a fortress on flat land. Pungnap-Tosong is a moated gigantic royal fort covering an area of some 40 meters with a height of up to 15 meters. The circumference of the fortress stretches as long as 3.5 kilometers, and the area inside is as large as 840,000 meters squared. A cross-sectional analysis of the fort shows that it was built using the heaping method, in which soil mixed with leaves and twigs was heaped together and hardened through stomping on it with feet. The purpose of mixing organic matter like leaves and twigs with soil was to strengthen the cohesive property of the soil so that it could maintain stability while withstanding vertical pressure. This construction technique is called the Buyup construction method. The fortress wall of Pungnap-Tosong was built with the Buyup construction technique. The fortress wall of Pungnap-Tosong was built with the Buyup construction technique by heaping soil on the trapezoid-shaped basis inside and outside the wall. Ancient Chinese nations also used the technique when building earthen fortresses. The construction of Pungnap-Tosong was a large-scale government project that required a huge labor force. Baekje's civil engineering techniques are clearly seen in the irrigation facilities. For instance, Baekje in Gimje, which was completed during the first half of the 4th century, was built using the Buyup construction technique that utilized reeds. Baekje built earthen fortresses at first, but gradually came to construct stone fortresses on mountains. Stone fortresses were built with stones only or with stones and soil for the outer wall. These stone fortresses indicate the consolidation of Baekje's national power, as the construction of a stone fortress requires administrative skills for mobilization and management of a large labor force, facilities to accommodate the workforce, and highly advanced knowledge in mathematics and civil engineering techniques. The stone fortresses built in Baekje include Borak-Sansong in Jincheon, and Solbong-Sansong and Solsong-Sansong in Icheon. Tomb construction also required advanced civil engineering techniques, especially for king's tombs. The tombs constructed in Hansong as the capital of Baekje included the pit tomb, in which the body is buried in an underground pit, the cairn tomb found on hills nearby streams, and the tiered cairn, also located on hills nearby streams. Baekje built pit tombs at first, but with the consolidation of royal authority, constructed tiered cairns, which are similar to those built in Goguryeo, and believed to have been introduced to Baekje after the 4th century. All these tombs were built outside the fortresses and concentrated in the area covering Seokcheon-dong, Garak-dong, and Banggi-dong in Songpa-gu. Some 100 tombs remained until the 1950s, but with a series of urban development projects, most were destroyed except for around 10. The tiered cairns found in this area belong to high-ranking aristocrats. Among them, tiered cairn number 3 is large enough to be compared with the Jangun Chong, General's Tomb, in Goguryeo, or the Taewangneung, Great King's Tomb, since it is over 50 meters in length on one side. It is now restored as a 3-tiered cairn, but it is highly likely that it was originally a 7-stepped cairn. Some fragments of Chinese celadon made in the 4th century were also excavated here. There is speculation that the cairn belongs to King Gunchogo, who played a key role in strengthening Baekje's national power.